Hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrilling episode of the Doomsayers. I am your humble MC, Chris. But before we get into our lovely story today, let's go check out all these cool and fine folks. Starting first off with Kai. Kai, introduce yourself to the lovely folks out there.
Hi everyone, I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am back tonight playing Merrick, also known as Patroclus, beloved of Achilles, which is not a problem. It will never be a problem on this show. And he uses he, him pronouns, and he is fine and normal. And I'm going to bounce it on over to Mallory.
Oh, hello. My name is Calamity. My pronouns are she, they. Today I will be playing Mallory, whose pronouns are also her pronouns are also she, they. And Mallory's doing fine and good, and nothing could go wrong, and nobody threatened her last episode. How about you, Hector?
I see that we're hopping on here and being liars on this Sunday, but I'm here to bring some truth back here. Hi, I'm Valiant Dorian. I use him, his pronouns. You can find me on the internet at Valiant Dorian, or also Spirit. Please enjoy that lovely treasure I have to say on. Tonight, I had a distinct pleasure of playing Hector, as in Hector, Troy, as in Prince Hector, who also uses he, him pronouns and is pissed the fuck off and personally victimized by the love story of Patroclus and Achilles. So join me on that. MC, Chris, you want to take it on over?
Yes, I'll take that right back. Hello, I'm your beloved MC for this evening, Chris. With that in mind, a couple things for you lovely folks, in case you missed it. The content warnings for this episode in particular you can find by typing in the chat !DoomCW. In case you missed it, for this episode in particular, we got fantasy and gun violence, apocalypse, romance and references to sexual entanglements, monsters and monstrosities, severe weather, blood, real-world religions, familial struggles, drama, McCarthyism, mind and memory manipulation, depiction of kidnapping, crime, supernatural and mythological elements, murder, and suicidal ideation. If any of those do not float your boat, there is a plethora of wonderful content out there for you to enjoy. And if you want to follow me or any of the lovely cast members on and behind the screen, you can type !Doomcast to find not only the Twitters, but not Blue Sky, as we are going to bluer skies as the ground below burns. So, it's a lovely time. Really in tune with the theme here. But, I think with all of that out the way, and everything ready to go, I think it's time for us to get to that sweet intro and see what happened last time on the Doomsayers. We will see you soon. With that, we open up on our group, still slightly bruised and recovering. Last night was a hell of a thing, wasn't it? But at the moment, you are recovering right now within the sort of makeshift medical room that they have in the Seers Tribunal's hall. As you see, there are various other people here that have various burn marks. Some have parts cut off from like slashing of weapons, very reminiscent of the old days for two of our members here. As you guys are healing up and the doctors have given you some space as they try to deal with everyone else, how are we feeling after that event there? After finding out the killer's Achilles? And also, Ricky came in to save the day, who is currently taking a sweet little nap by your side, Mallory. But at the moment, how are we feeling, gang?
Patroclus had to stop running at some point. His burns and that searing pain that runs so much deeper than physical pain from touching something that was forbidden to him finally caught up. And he had to stop and I think almost fell over in what he would say was exhaustion, but was actually probably shock, which is the only reason he is here. And slowly coming back to himself, he leans forward on the cot and lights a cigarette. Quiet.
Lovely, lovely. What about Hector? Hector, how are you feeling?
It has been a very long time since he has felt this feeling. A visceral, irritating fume of rage at so many things. And getting his hopes up that this would be it, that this would be the final stretch, that he would succeed, that disappointment at his failure. And being at the losing end once more of the great hero Achilles. Hector's not a prideful man, but his pride is deeply wounded, and his purpose bruised. And I think he is by Scamandrius, as it is still being worked on, leaning inside of a lowered seat and just pinches the bridge of his nose of this unfamiliar flesh, all of the unfamiliar bodies he's had to hold in every augmented lifetime for his penance. And we're back to square one again.
Rough, buddy. Rough. And Mallory, how are you feeling in this moment?
Mallory is rattled. She doesn't have the same personal relationship with the as the others may have with each other and with any perceived thing out there. But she was literally pulled from the kind of like ghost dimension for lack of a better term. She was the one thing that she always used as her, like, if all else fails, I don't like using my abilities because I'm just trying to be a normal person, but that's always been her kind of shield, her safety. She knows she's got it in her back pocket, and for that to suddenly go away, she's rattled. So I think she's next to Ricky, and has kind of drifted from like watching him sleep to sort of just thoughts going, staring blankly at the floor.
Sad, but it is the situation we find ourselves in. But as you all are thinking, resting, and contemplating among each other, you all are zapped away from your spots, including Ricky, who finds himself flat on his ass on the ground, going, what the hell? And as you guys are all teleported, standing up, you see 3 as Zeus, Armashara, and Morgan all stand up. As you see Zeus in a booming voice, their eyes full of lightning as it echoes in the room, goes, "What happened?"
Merrick lands in a low crouch because he was sitting comfortably, but he is too alert at all times to fall when teleported suddenly. The cigarette burns all the way down from just lit to the filter as he begins to fume in rage. It was a trap.
You see, Armashara, what exactly was a trap about it? That was on live television, broadcasted to the entirety of the city. Do you know the consequences of what just happened?
I think that's exactly why it was done.
We are very well aware of the consequences of what had just occurred.
Well, one of you are laughing, so clearly not.
You were set up. They were already inside the funeral. The statues. You served
Morgan.
one of your own up to slaughter.
Morgan pipes up. We would never serve one of our own to slaughter, let alone kill 2 of our members. Are you suggesting that we are somehow responsible for this chaos?
I think the gods reap what they sow.
And what exactly have we sown, Marek?
You promised me something.
And you were supposed to complete this task without any of our members unscathed, let alone a full-on riot now prepping in the streets and our questionability of our strength in the entirety of the city.
We did our absolute fucking best. We were always fated to fail.
If you didn't see it coming, how do you expect us to?
Zeus goes, we give you power, domain, you are investigators in this sort of thing, and yet you did not see stones that misplaced in a funeral? How many funerals do you go to and there are statues of someone who looks nothing like them? From what I understand, and you see they grab one of the nearby papers, they looked like Greeks. Does that seem on par for a god of the Norse mythology to you? Does that seem right to you?
Lord Zeus, the Seers Tribunal is a diverse collection of gods of several pantheons. Greek architecture and artwork is present in every official building. The question is, how is it that the suspect, the murderer, has access to such magic? How do they have access to those souls? Those are my men. Not
And
everyone
mine.
gets access to those souls.
Amashara, what do you mean, your men?
Trojans.
They fought like Myrmidons.
Which one is it, Myrmidons or Trojans? Last time I checked, you
Both.
weren't exactly buddy-buddy with each other.
Hence another question. I am a warrior. You called Hector of Troy a warrior. This is not my domain. I know not of necromancy or other familiar arts. But I know what I saw. And we did what we could, given the circumstances. We are still mortal.
And where we are not, my powers have failed. I cannot touch the weave of fate. And he holds up his burnt hand.
Well, this is fantastic. Great. What do we do now? Morgan pipes up. It's very clear what we do. We send them back out to do their work. Zeus looking to the side. Morgan is right. There are 3 of us now, and we need to maintain clear purpose and show that we are still powerful. You 3, well, 4 at this point, pointing over to Ricky, will find this murderer. Your end of the bargain will not be complete until this murderer is dealt with and found.
And what will you give me? What will you give me?
The same as you were promised before. Passage to Elysium. To your lover. To you, Hector, your...
What if I know he's not there?
Excuse me.
I saw a shade of him in the fight.
Then clearly your eyes blind you. You did suffer some considerable head trauma, and last thing I think is your long lover is somehow responsible
Excuse
for all
me,
this.
mighty seer, but I guess you've never been in love. I would know him blind.
Besides, Patroclus did see him.
Interesting. We will investigate this. If anything, if your lover is responsible for this, maybe we can cure them of their affliction, if that is what is going on. If you so deem it. But do not speak to me of love, as I have just lost 2 of my children. I have survived quite long, and the very few that survive I care deeply for. So when you think you know what the word love means, what the word loss means, I want you to look me in the eye and remember I have lived 1,000 lives longer and have lost more. I understand the meaning of the word. You barely grasp its understanding.
Merrick shuts his mouth.
You see floating in their hands 3 items. As we said, we have what you need. We had a key to Elysium for you, Hector. For you, Marek, we had something to maybe help find your lover. And for you, Mallory, we heard some whispers around town and found a way to keep the undead from bothering your life. You finish what you are hired for, and these items are yours. Understand? Waiting for a head nod or a yes.
Your wills be done.
A flash of golden eyes underneath beautifully permed hair. And just a terse nod as the burn.
Mallory.
Your choice.
Lovely. The answer I love to hear. Now, I would suggest you go to Thoth's office. If there's anything, the God of Knowledge may have found something to help you. Don't come back until you found the murderer. Meeting ended as you see they all disappear, leaving you in the room.
Fuck!
Ricky kind of, so does that mean I'm one of you guys now?
Ricky, shut up.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I'm still part of this or if I can skip
Who are
town
you?
still. Ricky Keys, how you doing? Kind of extends hand.
Hector takes it. Hector of Troy.
How you doing?
And I think Hector steps back, like, sees the tension between Mallory and Ricky, and like leans forward and it's just like, you all right, Mallory?
Well, hell no. No, I'm not all right.
I meant with this one.
Oh.
Right
Hector
here,
gestures.
man. What the hell? I kind of like.
I just met you.
He's fine. He's fine.
All right.
Sorry.
Hey, Sun God's body man. Why don't you shut the fuck up for a second?
Okay, calm down, Wolfie boy.
Regardless, we find ourselves in a predicament.
Merrick is going to turn to leave to go to Toast's office.
Yeah. I'm gonna go check on the kid, Mallory.
Yeah, we should. We should.
Yeah. I guess we'll meet you in the office in a hot second then.
When she says that, she kind of like avoids Hector's eyes for some reason. Like she kind of is like, I didn't actually say that why he's here. I should have said. I did. Oh man.
You avoid Hector's gaze as a light bulb flashes finally in his mind of, yes. And just like walks after Patroclus. Giving Mallory that space to handle that with Ricky.
And I think as we go off, I'm going to follow on with Mallory and Ricky here as you two proceed to go off to the side. It is very much safe, sound, healthy. You see Ricky go, hey, buddy, how you doing? As he kind of goes over. Oh, how you doing, my little guy? He starts messing around with them. With that, he kind of goes, hey, maybe we should close the door.
Yeah. And she'll close it.
So, we know what the plan is then.
What do you mean?
I take the kid and you deal with this while we go somewhere safe.
You got access to that stuff still or no?
What stuff?
Stuff you used to become all
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple bags. Why?
just lately it's been just
You're not gonna use it on yourself, right?
No.
That's just
no.
good.
I more meant maybe you need some extra protection. Not that I'm saying you're incapable, but
Who? Me?
it's just with things going on, and it might be better if there were some extra eyes, maybe someone checking in on you. Again, it's not that I don't trust you, it's that
I understand. I don't like really using it. The power is a little bit.
yeah, only if absolutely necessary.
I mean, if that's what you need, then how my body's yours and the kids.
Don't phrase it like that, Ricky.
Look, I don't really have much of a life, Mallory. I'm gonna be very honest with myself, especially that my employment
Say
got
that.
hanged and burnt to a crisp, so I don't really have much left.
God, Enid.
And that's why I think we should take him out of this city again. You can't leave because you gotta find whoever the hell this is, but he doesn't have to stay. And last time I checked, I heard some rumors that a certain somebody's been giving you visits.
That's what I'm just worried about.
Hey, it's
This was
called
supposed to
rest.
close. This was supposed to. He was supposed to be safe after this, and now gotta worry about more bullshit. I'm just.
Mallory, you don't fuck with the dead. That's just something you don't do. It's called rest in peace for a reason. You gotta face this thing head on. I mean, I know I'm not exactly the guy to be giving you a life advice about what to do. I'm not exactly, it ain't one an act, but this guy's not gonna stop until he gets what he wants. So, if you're not gonna give up Enid, you're not gonna give up yourself, then you need to find an option C. You got 2 friends that can help you, I guess.
They're. And I think that's the first time she's ever like considered that word in relation to them. And she kind of hesitates. They're. I don't know. We kind of all got thrown into this together, and they've got enough on their plates without me.
I mean, that's what friends are for, friends aren't exactly friends. A lot of the guys I knew, we were dropping a bag off in the middle of the river, and then, we get talking, we get similar interests,
Okay.
and then
Let's not talk. I know we can't really understand you, but maybe don't talk about previous job or anything.
I'm just saying, we got to do something. Lest this kid's gonna spend eternity in hell, and I exactly
Yeah.
don't want that for my kid.
No, it's not happening.
So what are we gonna do? Say it
I'll
with me.
figure it out.
I'm gonna take the kid. That's the plan. That's what we're gonna do.
Fine. Yeah, you can take him out of the city, and tears immediately spring to her eyes at saying that.
I think he kind of gets up. Mallory, look at me. Do you trust me?
I know you'd do anything for Enid. I know that.
You see, he begins to pick up the stuff of Enid's, straps it on his shoulder, picks up the kid. How about you go say bye to Mom, okay?
Hey, buddy.
You see, it's kind of tired.
Be good, all right? Don't be a little shit.
You see, Ricky
Dad's a
kind of
pushover.
Hey.
Bedtime, keep the same, or he will be a menace the next day. You know it. Don't let him convince you otherwise.
I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have all the junk food you want, kid.
No, Ricky, for fuck's sake.
I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. And she'll kind of pick him up and hold him close. Keep you good. Moving back to Ricky.
Ricky puts him over his shoulder, opens the door, and for a moment, he kind of looks back at you. I'm sad that we didn't really get to work things out, I mean, I don't regret it, but maybe in another life,
Yeah. We'll see how things wrap up with this. Maybe we can talk. But only after this is fixed. It's gotta be secure first.
You see, he gives a bit of a smile. You keep safe out there, gorgeous.
You're an asshole.
I mean it. And he kind of walks off. As you see the elevator open, your kid looking at you one last time as he waves his hand. And the elevator doors close.
She'll sit in the room and cry.
As you have a moment, we go over to Thoth's office. As both Merrick and Hector, you find yourselves within the same space, sort of that library, the sort of office that is kind of like hidden within, kind of opens up as it begins to recognize you guys now. And really, as you enter the office and library, you find that everything is still relatively untouched from the last time you were here. You see, Thoth is a very clean, meticulous kind of person, and has a number of items littered about, including that one cryopod that he was never really able to open in the back as well. As you find that his investigation, everything has been untouched. So I guess if anything, someone from within isn't responsible, because then, they would have clearly touched stuff, look around, untouched. If you want to continue forward here, we're going to have to make some rolls for some clues, specifically investigate, if you'd be so kind for me.
All right, let me get another D6, because I already pulled one out for some reason in the 2D6 system.
You do need 2. Merrick stormed into this room, and I think, because Hector wasn't that far behind him, by the time Hector enters, he has just been pacing around the room. He came in here to quote-unquote work and to get this over with, and he hasn't been able to actually start thinking about it. So I'm going to invoke Carrion Dog and Hunger for Scraps of Destiny, but I'm also going to invoke Incomplete Without Him and our party weakness tag, Party Friction.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely, lovely.
Party Friction is correct.
Wow, my dice really said what you said. Yeah, you're gonna have to live by that. So I've never rolled such swingy dice in a 2d6 system before in my life, and yet somehow I just rolled Snake Eyes again.
Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Hector doesn't storm in. Hector's rage isn't wild. It's a rolling tempest. It's like dark clouds swirling and magnifying, turning grayer and darker until it eventually will erupt. Right now, he's just a storm cloud breezing through, and he marches in. What's Marek look like as you fail and are barking around looking for something, anything? What does that look like?
Even during the meeting, he's gotten more and more monstrous. His face turning redder, not from rage, but this otherworldly red. It almost glows at this point. His eyes begin to sheen over gold as he becomes more and more the Vrikolakos within instead of just the shell of Patroclus. And he is smoking the cigarette, but he is as much blowing air into it and stoking the flame as he is smoking it. And he is, I think, his most otherworldly you have ever seen him.
And I think there's a moment where I don't know, jealousy, disappointment brims at the surface of Hector's expression. He's so close to you now. And yet this is the position you are in? And he just says under his breath, Malaka, he's right in front of you. And I will, as Hector is investigating, I will invoke Prince of Troy. I will invoke Divine Sense. Bring glory to Troy because he kind of wants to know what the fuck is up with his people. And I would like to also invoke a tag I just received due to a advancement. It is called Behind Every Great Man. Because as Hector is this mood that Hector is in, one thing is coursing through in his mind even more, probably flavoring a lot of his disdain for Marek right now. And it is, she was kind of right. She was right. It wasn't going to be this easy. It was always going to be a roundabout thing. And maybe I'm going to chase that now instead. The fact that there's something more beneath the surface than just my own duty. So that is 4, I believe.
Fantastic. Roll them for me.
Yeah, but I will also invoke party friction. Because oh boy, Marek's pissing him off. What? Ooh, that's so cool the way it rolls with water in them. Alrighty, that is +4. That's a 9.
It's a 9. Okay. So on a 7 and a 9, you can also choose. They must give you either straight answer, solid. That's for me to decide. So I think I'm either going to choose the investigation is supposed to use danger. The clues are fuzzy. I think if anything, yeah, I'm going to do the clues get fuzzy, incomplete, or are true/part false, depending on what you choose here. So how many power tags did you have here? You had 4?
Yeah, I had 4 power tags.
So you got 4 questions. You got 4 clues you can spend and ask me questions around this area and about. To remind you, you got stuff on the desk, which seems to be a bunch of files. Yep. You have the cryopod that's in the back that really has been kind of some investigation. And that's primarily what you have. There's on the desk itself, there seems to be 2 separate pieces of information, so keep that in mind. But feel free to start slinging some questions my way.
Yeah, let's go to Toth is methodical and clean, kind of organized. Whatever is on their desk is probably one of their immediate attention. So what is on Toth's desk that is currently occupying the God of Knowledge's attention right now?
On his desk, there seems to be 2 pieces of information. Primarily, there seems to be information regarding a case that happened a little bit way back, maybe within, it looks like maybe the 50s, somewhere around that point. And you can see it seems to be the, if I'm not mistaken, the city of New Promethea versus the Divine Five, which is a case that is there. The other pieces of information that are here, specifically for the case as well, it's got a number attached to it, so there seems to be a reference point somewhere else here for more information. But the other piece that's attached here seems to be some redacted files around something called Project Prometheus.
We've heard that name before, haven't we? I believe so. I believe we've heard that name before.
I don't think you've heard this name before. No? This is new information for you.
That's
you do notice that there's a drawing of a frame, like 3-layer frames on it. That if anything, that's a reference for you. But this is the first time you've heard this name.
I'll open up the redacted file. Is the most interesting because Hector is looking for things that are lying beneath the surface. He's not just looking for the killer right now. He's looking for the pieces of the puzzle to this whole thing. What's up with the redacted file? What's up with Project Prometheus? I think what he's looking for is, can he hold the little paper up to the light and try and see if I can like parse through some of the words there?
I'm going to say this is where the fuzziness comes into it. So there's some information you're not going to get here primarily.
Okay.
So this is going to be your second clue for learning more information. From what you can tell, the main synopsis of what it is, it's for some sort of device that was built during World War II that could be activated by a single god or some sort of divine being that would absorb all magical and divine energy within a 300 square meter, sort of mile radius, approximately the size of a building. And from the recordings, from what you can see, this thing makes an H-bomb look like a joke. A hydrogen bomb, so it's kind of a very bigger than a bomb. So it's a pretty powerful thing, even though it's in this football-sized frame. If anything, it's like handheld. From what you can read, there's not a lot of information about who built it, why was it built, because that seems to be redacted. But you do notice the name as you're just able to the light. Can see that among the participants or the scientists, Set, the Egyptian god of death, seems to be among its members.
Hector thinks about the little frame in his pocket, and I think places this paper back down where it was from. And all right, I've got 2 clues left. So I got the case. Hector will go towards the cryopod. I'm curious about the cryopod. Yeah.
As Hector is doing this dutiful amount of research, Merrick walks over to a chair and is like looking over the chair, trying to like pretend he thinks that he's investigating. He's too angry to think through anything that he is doing right now, and starts to like look around at the stuff near the chair and then just throws the chair.
I think at this point, Mallory, you walk in and you almost get hit with a chair. Just very much.
God damn it.
I think that catches Hector by surprise. Oh, he's trying to walk to a goddamn cryopod, and all he hears is a fucking wooden piece of furniture getting slammed against something. And he's like, watch it. And
there's nothing in here.
You see your wife appears. Oh, look at that. The big bad wolf is having a tantrum again.
Too short-sighted to see the gold right in front of his goddamn face. And he like leans down and looks at the cryopod, and he calls out from over his shoulder, "The desk. Go and look at the desk." And is going to investigate the cryopod. He's the energy between Andromache and Hector is very much a very similar energy of like a judgy couple who are very aligned in how irritated they are.
If you just sit down there and just very much the 2 old man Muppets.
Mallory, you see Merrick just stalk over to the desk, put his hands on it really angrily, and just like try and breathe deeply, but it just keeps growling.
You need a second?
I just need answers.
Well, I don't think throwing things is going to help us find answers. Look, I'm as frustrated as you. No, you're fine. It's understandable. Just take a second, whatever time you need. But we gotta get this done if you want what you want. All right?
Where's Ricky Keys?
Just say his name like that.
Ricky Keys. Yo, man, government?
Honestly, it was kind of perfect. That's how you say Ricky's name.
That's how you say his name. We're not friends. We're not a first name basis.
Ricky is going to keep an eye on Enid.
You think he's safe to look after your child?
As the father of said child, I know that he will do everything in his power.
Fuck.
Yeah, to make sure that.
And Mallory, you see before your eyes him wash his hands of that complication.
With that in mind, Mallory, you just
Oh
entered
my
the scene,
God.
so you can roll investigate for me
I shall.
if you so wish. You can do that in a second. I'll do one more question here for you, Hector, before I go to Mallory
Yeah.
and double check what they get. So,
Um,
cryopod, you see it's still operational in terms of like it's still producing sort of the mist coming off of it, sort of that cold temperature to it as you touch it. Still has, from what you can see, from like very shaded, very faded iron port in a sort of font. So, with that in mind, what do you want to know?
Okay. We've seen these similar cryopods before, and Toth has said that he's tried investigating. I'm just clarifying. He said he's tried, but he hasn't made progress.
He's
Yes.
tried opening it. That's the problem that has really done him in. You don't know whether it's because of his old technology or maybe he wasn't trying. You don't know. He could have been lying. But for the moment,
Yeah.
he's told you he hasn't been really able to open it.
All right. I want to know, if this is truly broken. It seems operational, so there's some power source. Is it something I'm able to open right now?
I will say from looking at it, really taking a good look, your wife very much egging you on of like, darling, it is very simple. If it is a lock, where's the key? And you see they point towards the direction. You picked up the key from the investigation before and handed it in, and you see there's a slot. It seems to be working. Maybe it's just that simple.
All right. Maybe it is that simple. I think he's fully egged on by Andromache. Like, let's try and find this key, and let's give this thing an attempt.
Grab the key, putting it in. As you see, it begins to and opens very much from 3 points: the head and the sides. Mist comes off of it, and as you wave, what you see before you is nothing. It's empty.
The fuck?
Something was in here, as you can see the imprints of a body left behind, and also the golden blood that was being used. Somebody was in here being drained. But for the most part, whatever was in here was let out, and someone locked it up to make it look like it was still in there.
My final question. How long does it look like? How long has this imprint been here? Is it recent or old?
Oh, this is old. You see maybe 2 decades at least.
Both is not that stupid. And Hector stands up, slams this cryopod shut, but his eyes linger on Iron Port.
As you
It's
do
empty,
that,
don't worry.
Mallory, what did you get?
I only got a 7.
A
Well,
7?
that's something.
How many power
That's
types did you use?
Something. I used so I rolled a 4. But I used leave the light on, emotionally stable, and they're my world.
All right. So you got 3 questions you can ask here, and there are the files that are here from in terms of stuff you can get from. There's still files from whatever this project was, but they didn't check the files for whatever this case number, this trial was.
Okay, I'll look into that.
All right. Opening it up, what do you want to know from this case here as you're opening up the file? Primarily from what you can get without any context clues. Court case happened in around 50s again, maybe mid 50s, maybe late 50s. and primarily seems to be a picture in which you do see your father is there. He seems to be one of the judges. Hades, along with a number of other individuals. And you could also see, on the prosecution side, Apollo.
Are there... Okay. I think she'll share that with them, because she doesn't really know what they've been looking into.
Mhm.
Say, well, we've got Apollo on this trial.
We have the cryopod, and Hector like steps aside to show the sealed thing. It's been empty. Many years, at the very least. It's been draining the golden blood that we have seen before. Whomever was here was either taken, escaped, or other such. And I do not think Toth is stupid enough to have been missing a body for several years.
Well, besides the dead sun god, we know that Odysseus thing. And we know where he went. Looking over the file, Chris,
Mhm.
does Merrick see anyone familiar in the pictures now that he's had his attention brought to it?
The case, the court case?
Yeah.
I will say, without anything too deep, Apollo's there. Zeus
Sure.
is also there. You do notice that the tribunal is also there, even though the additional member you see that takes. Freyr is not in place yet, but you do see that this moment Freyr's place is replaced with Hades. Seems to be one of the members. And I think looking among those who are accused, there are about 5 individuals.
That's
I would
more
see
my
2
question.
people. Yeah, 2 people. You know, Set is there, very much in a scientist getup, glasses, suit, and believe it or not, Pandora is also there.
To Merrick's very long memory of dealing with these people, Set, what side of the war were they on?
Set changed sides. He
Mhm.
very much was initially of the idea of fuck 'em. They're mortals, especially with his long history of him trying to grab his brother's throne and it not exactly going to plan. He thinks, well, I'll make my own kingdom. But later on, as that war did die down and the second war came in, I switched sides to the god side in terms of like protecting the world. Though not much explains why. Though he was still
Sure.
sent back to prison shortly after for reasons you're not particularly too keen on, as you weren't exactly buddy, but
busy.
you know each other. A handout here, a thing there. He's not exactly the most sanest of persons. He was back in the day, but time has not been kind to him. So he's very much a loner in a sense.
Did you say, and maybe I just missed it, did you say what they were being prosecuted for?
The question was not asked yet. So
Okay.
they're not going any deeper. As there's another question we know what exactly the prosecution is for.
Merrick's finger goes straight onto that file and points at Set specifically. That's interesting.
Why?
Well, there are very few people who have gone back and forth between the Seers and Ironport. And if Set knows something that Toph is looking into, be someone who would be asking the question, God's who?
It's giving us the next steps at least.
They're a real piece of work, though.
Andromeda, and like they aren't.
Hector laughs out loud. at a joke that no one could hear but him.
No, Merrick's joke was funny enough. That's why Hector's laughing.
Yeah, maybe you are right.
Did you find
It's
something?
not like we have a choice. A response satisfactory for the intended audience being Andromache, but also the unintended audience, Mallory and Merrick.
With that, the clues are very simple, and you know where you gotta go.
Empty
Ironport
box.
Prison.
And the worst place in this fucking...
Will the kid be okay?
There is a flash of pain across her face, but she steels herself. She'll be fine.
Before we go, in case it was somehow missed by some of you, and he looks directly at Hector, I have spent some time in Ironport. Ironport isn't just the city jail. I didn't go there drunk and disorderly. So don't be surprised when people act strange.
Strange how your people got a vendetta in there against you, or
Oh, yeah, people don't like it when you betray their side of a war.
yeah, no, that's fair.
Hector, how much do you know about what Eris got up to later? The war that you said you fought in?
Not much. And Hector's being honest. His work has been, he gets it done and then he leaves. It's only now where he's asking the bigger questions.
Eris started another war. Because, you know, that's just what she does.
Yeah, chaos incarnate. Right.
And that's who I fought for. And a wolfish toothed smile curls from underneath the mustache, laced in pain, almost more like a bite than a smile. That's who's in Iron. The people that I knew.
It wouldn't be the first time folks have a bone to pick with you. We will be vigilant. And there's a venom when he says that. You may be speaking of recent sins, but he knows your sins from far longer.
Well, in this case, Merrick, you do know that you gotta catch a ferry to this place, as it's kind of a offshore, and time is a bit of the essence. As you know, one of the last ferries that go on and off from the island it's gonna be kind of the last one for the day, so you gotta hurry a bit here.
All right. Let's go catch a boat to the worst place this side of pretty much fucking anywhere.
Hate boats.
As you all pack up, Mallory, without saying anything about what you may find, do you want to spend one last clue to see something that most people can see? Yes.
Yeah.
As you're putting it, files down, you see one of the photos comes off of it, as everybody else is kind of off ahead. And as you do, you have to kind of circle back on it. And you see Apollo being a prosecuting, asking a question towards a witness. And the witness before the stand is Inku. As they were involved in this too. Having that knowledge going off as you all catch a ferry to Ironport Prison. And we'll take a break right there, folks. We hope you're having a lovely time. We're going to take a quick break to rehydrate, so use El Baño, grab yourself a snack, and we'll be right back. We'll see you soon, folks. I do think our producer
We're still
is
here.
off to the side for a second. So, if anything, I will give them a quick bump here and we'll keep... Oh, never mind. They are here. We'll be back. Be back, folks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As you can see, we're doing a bit of a mood shift, a little bit of a tone change, as you guys take the ferry, coming over about maybe nighttime is starting to set in, and you find yourselves going up the steps of what is this old prison, a little bit far off, very famous back in the day, but as you go into one of the nearby side sections in which you, Merrick, know intimately, you find yourselves at the precipice of Ironport Prison, where all the nasty gods and divine beings and mythological creatures find their way. As you enter in, taking the elevator, as you're patted down and checked, you begin to go down. Merrick, memories start to flood your mind of your old home and pain that hold over in the shadows. But for the rest of you, the elevator opens up to a wondrous sight of the prison, as it is more like a complex underground of apartments closer to that of ancient caves than any resemblance of a prison. Very more mythological in the way it sets itself up. As you go down and proceeding to go off to the side, the warden is not here. Somebody else is helping you out. But you proceed to go through and see the various sort of platforms in which prisoners are having yard time. And you know, Merrick, there's a bit of an odd trade between one another for whatever deals they can make off the side. And you can feel the eyes on you, Merrick, as you go through. As you see one of the guys go, hey, yo, it's Merrick. You working for the other side, big boy?
Not by choice. Fuck off.
Fucking traitor.
Try me.
You see, they throw up middle fingers at you. Like it's gonna get you, big boy! As you sort of go down the corner. And in this moment, you guys reach the precipice of what seems to be another elevator. Specifically, Set seems to be down in one of the more secure areas of the prison. But as you do, you see there's a number of guards around the elevator, and at this moment, one of them goes, I need you to wait here, we're doing a prisoner transfer.
Mm.
Boop, boop, bing. This elevator opens not only from the front, but also on top, as you see before you a large, monstrous creature standing at 11 feet tall, full of scars that have never healed, and dry blood that is across their face that no one dares tries to clean up. As you see, they are wolf-like, standing on twos, though, as they have their shock collar on tow and their hands in tow, as their eyes gleam yellow. Merrick! Oh, the gods have blessed me today.
Gods have never blessed you a day in your life.
What are you doing here?
Working. Making the world a better place.
As always, you cheap, stealing, conniving. As you see the collar goes across his neck. As the nearby ghosts go, all right, that's enough. Get over there. I have your scent. Seeing ya, Merrick. All right, elevator. As you see the guards kind of push you to it.
They really actually have to push Merrick because the smell in the air is so pungent for his nose of his creator.
For her
He's
breath,
locked
Mallory's.
here.
Oh, fuck.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say, Mallory under her breath says, you're popular.
Fucking.
Let's make sure we are not here for too long then.
And as always, starting problems. Your wife follows suit. With that, you proceed in, and with that, one of the nearby guards go, "Cell Black Z." You go through several rooms and find yourself at a long hallway of this sort of stone. The guard goes, "All right, 2 doors down is the interrogation room. 10 minutes was set. Make it quick. When you're done, just buzzer us and we'll come coming."
Gotcha. Thank you.
You see, boom, elevator begins to go up.
Hector 100% like again just holds out a hand to no one in particular, and it seems to be guiding someone off of the elevator. It's a drama game. As
I think Merrick walks through her
yeah, for sure.
to get off the elevator, brushes past your hand.
Very much fucking rude.
Don't worry, dearest. And we'll march towards the. Is Set? I guess Set must be already in there. Interrogation room. After Marek, I assume, storms in there.
Yeah.
As you do, you notice that when you enter into the room, it is split. There is a wall in between you with sort of that glass that is in between with the sort of various wires in it. And very much on one side, a desk with a phone on it. On the other side, there's a phone with a desk on it, but you do also see that there's a number of sand that is all over the place. But the thing that you notice most out of everything in here is the music. As you hear the ballads of old song playing in the background, as Set is in there, paying you no mind, and what you see before you as he very much motions his hands in a way that is almost like a conductor, you see a gaunt, skinny little man, maybe 5'2", if anything, with the drapes over of his iron port jumpsuit that looks a little bit big on him, but still has collars along his hands that prevent him from doing any major arcana. As he just simply continues doing the notes.
Merrick enters, takes this all in, stops at the door, and looks out, searching for a bit of reality for a moment, waiting for the others to arrive.
I think Hector 100% bumps into your back, and it's just like, why are you not going in? And then he hears the music.
Yeah. And he just steps aside.
Mallory's like trying to look around these two large men, just like what?
Yeah. Hector
What's going on?
steps in after that, and like stands in the middle of the room, hears this music, sees this little man, looks at the other two. Lord Set?
I think we need to use the phone.
Oh. Hector, catching up to technology, walks up to the phone, picks it up. Lord Set?
You see one of the nearby sands come around, forms a hand, and picks up the phone as it brings it towards him. How can I help your call?
We've been sent to investigate a series of murders involving the Seers Tribunal. We're hoping to pick your brain a little more on that.
And who is calling, still with his head behind his back?
Hector, Prince of Troy.
Only person I'm hurt.
Alongside me are my compatriots, Mallory and Merrick.
Turns around, and the first thing you notice is he has no eyeballs. It is just simply hollowed out. Seeping.
Was he like this in the picture?
If anything, he had sunglasses on, hiding it.
Okay.
Oh my god, Marek. The great Patroclus. Oh, Pericles. I always miss the saying of it. It's not very good on my tongue. Begins to stride forward. The sand parts ways, puts a seat. How can I help you? Great and honorable legends.
Hector looks at Merrick to see if there's any other response that Merrick would like to have, because that's been the trend the entire walk down.
He is silent. If anything, his head is bowed, and he is refraining from saying anything.
You have the greatest knowledge on the Seers Tribunal. Who might want them to illuminate on the many secrets that they keep from the public eye?
Is this about the murderer, by chance?
You have heard.
I know, pretty boy.
Where is he?
Talking about Achilles.
Course,
Talk about a
I'm-
weak ankle game.
Where is he?
You're asking the wrong questions. The right ones need to be asked.
Here's a better one. Why? Why is Achilles here? And how has he come to this new profession?
If you be so kind, Hector, please roll me a convince to hear this story.
Sure thing. Hector of Troy. I will invoke Prince of Troy. Behind every great man. Bring glory to Troy and divine sense. So that's 4 total. I will invoke cold-hearted from Love Lost as a weakness. So this is +3.
Dope, dope.
Okay. That's a 7 on the die, +3, 10.
Oh, look at that. And he goes,
Apparently I'm
Well-
better when I'm petty,
yeah,
is what the dice is telling me.
you have, good job, honey.
It says be worse.
Well, to understand your question, to answer it properly, you kiddos are going to need a seat, as good old Papa Set is going to tell you a story. Now, what do you know about the atomic bomb?
I've been away for a long time. Catch me up.
For my 2 other lovely little kids here, what do you know about the atomic bomb?
Very little. I had other shit that I was doing. Science doesn't really tickle me.
Should. Science is just a higher form of magic. I mean, look around us. TV, a Walkman, MTV, all wondrous things provided by science. It's a new god in a sense. But, leaving that question, clearly the other one points to you, Mary. He looks like befuddled, just as their father was. I will answer the question for you. The atomic bomb. World War II was this little device humans harnessed, and for the first time in a very, very long time, they had the means and the capability to wield the same divine power that little old us are able to use on a daily basis. Now, say you're a god. Let's say, for shits and giggles, you are from the Greek pantheon. You've seen a lot of shit in your day, and all of a sudden humans are starting to have the capabilities you have. How do you feel in this instance when you're no longer to be feared, when they can launch a nuke at your ass and puff, goes away?
The fury of the gods.
Exactly. But the thing is, we can't exactly wage war. There's a lot of monsters out there. There's a lot of aliens out there. There's a lot of things out there that can stop a god nowadays. So, during World War II, a group of us, a little bit after, decided to work on something new. Because mortals were stockpiling these weapons and were going to kill each other. And that would damage the sanctity of our lovely city. So, a group of like-minded individuals and citizens like myself, with the funding, connections, and ultimately power and resolve, decided to tackle this problem and create their own ultimate weapon that would put the mortals back in their place. We did a little magic, a little bit of technology from a group of aliens known as Zerathians. Long story, don't have to get into it. Combined their technology with our magic of the old gods in Project Prometheus. Specifically around an item that you are currently holding in your possession, known as the Boundless Box, or at least the first frame of that. Following with me so far, kiddos?
How did you know I had that in my possession?
Because I helped make the damn thing. I can feel its presence a mile away.
These gods you were working with, your old friends or your new ones?
Oh, old, new, in between. Well, one that is particularly interesting to this story is Pandora, of all people. Poor bugger, plagued by opening one tiny little box. All that crap that came out, you feel bad. So they wanted to fix the problem. I've forgotten most of the other scientists' names, though that is not completely because of my own doing. See, those Seers, they are a fickle bunch. I took those memories straight out of my head. You're lucky I'm able to remember this part of the story. But next I knew we were working on the project, and all of a sudden, BAM! Doomsayers come arresting the project and everybody that worked on it for espionage. See, in the 60s, there was a real hard-on for communists. So that's what they used as a cover. They thought we were working for the Russians due to the fact that somehow the Russians were able to make a bigger bomb thanks to magic. And think that one of us were responsible for it. Well, it doesn't really matter. And again, I mostly don't remember much, but there was a trial I remember being a part of. A lot of people going up to bat, saying we were responsible, but I do remember there was a number of individuals that knew what was going on. There was a truth behind this all. They didn't want the true purpose of this device to be let out, but c'est la vie, I do not know much, but there is one person that I think does know quite a lot about it.
Who?
Come on, take a guess, This is a game here. We're telling a story. I want some
It's
interaction.
not a game, it's an interrogation.
Oh, you are the last person to be talking, Mallory.
Why is that?
Oh, your father was just as bad as the rest of us.
We all have our sins.
Hades trying to survive in this cruel world, but since nobody wants to play the fucking game,
Morgan.
Apollo. No, God, not that dull witch.
Apollo.
Yeah, Apollo knew a great much. That's hence why he was part of prosecution.
I'm sure I'd be pretty fucking pissed off, something that's basically the power of the sun.
If there's
And-
only a way to talk to him. He's still alive, is he not?
You know that he's not.
Apollo?
Well, he is dead. He does have a bit of unfinished business, so where would one go?
You've got to be kidding me.
I don't know. Maybe an ice cream shop. Maybe he's haunting a house.
The underworld.
That's a good place, Hector. Very good. Very keen.
At that word, Mallory visibly shudders.
Now look at the pretty girl now. Oh, shut up now. That's you gotta go to the one place you don't want to go. Well, kiddos, it's a hard place to get to, and luckily for you, I am a prime traveler of the underworld. So I'll make you a deal. Get me out of here, and I'll take you to Tartarus. It's only a hot skip away from the Duat. Plus,
This
I know
is
a
the
couple
most
people.
secure prison in anywhere. The fuck makes you think that we can get you anywhere?
Well, you brought a little item with you that a certain individual is looking for. And if my timing and scientific know-how is correct, you see immediately the intercom comes on. And a voice speaks over it. You're expecting Achilles. His smooth tone, his command and authority. But what you all hear is not Achilles, but only one voice that someone understands. Andromache's voice starts speaking. And you look to your side and you see that the ghost, this vision that follows you, is not really paying attention to it. They're still interacting with the surroundings around them. As you hear, greetings. You don't know me, but simply put it, you can call me Troy. You've heard
Okay.
probably that I killed not one, not two, not even three of these so-called gods. They put you in here for a crime that they have committed over and over again. Does that seem fair to you?
We have to run.
Hector is dumbfounded looking at the Andromache at his side, who's not reacting
They're
to
like,
this.
What is the problem, my love? Something on my face?
You're here and
Why should you, be punished for crimes that the tribunal has committed in droves? Why should their voice be the only one that silences your dreams?
weapons up.
I offer you prisoners a chance. Doors are open. Be a part of my new pantheon. But there's only so much room, so here's the deal. Whoever kills the Doomsayers gets to be in.
Andromache!
Have fun. And with that, you hear and hear the sounds of muffled upstairs. You see the nearby door to the front kicks down. And at this point, one of the prisoners looks like they're about to attack before a shotgun goes through them. And at this point, you see coming through very much in a bit of their old armor that's a little bit mixed and matched with a bit of trash. Athena comes forward. Hello, children. You should hurry with me quite quickly. Hector,
What?
you've done splendid work. The frame, I would love to have it if you'd be so kind.
We don't have time for this. Let's go.
Hector tosses it to Athena.
Thank you. You see Set go, you can't get to the underworld without me!
Patroclus summons that Myrmidon spear and uses the butt of it to try and smash the window between the rooms.
I would say for purposes here, no problem as it goes off. Anybody read the Count of Monte Cristo? I love this part. And kind of proceeds to go forward. Change, if you will, be so kind.
Uh, like I Hector literally just looks over to Marek and begins pulling out his spear, summoning his shield, and is making a wall to hope to make a path by the time you're done with the old man.
Yeah.
With that, you see
Oh.
Athena go, darling, the frame is the reason why we use these. As you see, they hold it in their hand. Some energy begins to build up around it as it begins to consume part of their essence. And with that, they make a makeshift set of stairs that go to the top.
Shit. Merrick starts to rip chains, and like, I think fully grabs them and just rends them apart.
Thank you, my kind wolf. Let us go.
Mallory,
Yeah.
you with us? Get
Yeah.
you home and back. Or you
No.
can die here. Let's go.
That's
Stand
very
behind
good.
me, I'll carve a path.
As she begins going forward. Now, it's very important. We must get to where they leave the belongings of the prisoners, which should be around the maybe third, second floor. I'm not particularly sure. It's been some time. And you going up, making your way up, you find yourselves in one of the nearby cell blocks as you make your way through quite a bit. But as you get close and getting up, you see Athena go, ran out of juice. Sorry. And at this moment, you see there's a number of prisoners rioting in this instance, as they're just throwing the guards. Fires are being set along, as they're having a good old ball and fun with it. And at this point, you see something coming bursting from the side. Nerik, where are you?
Instead of the very practiced warrior stance that he's had fighting his way up to this point, the moment that he can hear Lycan, he shrinks. His hands start to tremble, the spear vanishes, the shield vanishes off of his arm.
What are you doing? Keep your form up!
And hearing Hector, he tries to grab it again. You see it form and vanish as the uncertainty, the rage, the fear begins to cause him to lose focus, and that red begins to pump up from under the collar of his jacket. Lycan!
Merrick!
And he is going to run at Lycan.
Fantastic. Do you go to toe-to-toe?
Yeah.
I'm guessing, are you going to go to toe-to-toe as well, Hector, here, or are you going to
I
defend it?
bloody fucking have to, now don't I?
Mallory, what are you doing in this? Is it toe-to-toe, or are you doing something else?
So like, I had a realization. I probably am unarmed because I don't think they're gonna let me in here with a gun.
It's up to you what you want to do here. You may not have one.
If I could have a way to sneak it in, then yeah. Because I was just like, is that? I don't
Say,
wanna,
you don't have
I
a
wanna
gun
be
per
honest.
se, but there's a number of makeshift weapons across the place that you could use.
True. I'm going to grab a bar of one of the prisons things that's broken. What are they called? Cell.
Yeah, so you just pull it up as you hear the
Little
rest of them.
tiny-
Kill him!
Hey, Mallory. Whatever you're doing, I would like to invoke my other improvement called Expert Advice, where once per scene, I can give you a tag from this specific theme book that you can use for your role. I'm going to give you Dominant Duelist. I think you have seen Hector take charge of a battlefield multiple times. And in his many advice to you, he's always told you about the importance of gaining the upper hand, whatever means necessary.
Fantastic. So, everybody toe-to-toe for me, please. I'm going to start off here with you, Merrick. As you see, Lycan jumps off, throwing off anybody to the side as he...
Got Rage Against Destiny, famously ill-fated, Carrion Dog, Wrought in War, and Sated by Heroic Deeds. And I'm going to invoke Barely Tamed.
Gotcha.
At a +4 though, that is an 11.
11. All right, you get to choose two. You can achieve your goal. You can hit them with a tier, or you can block, dodge their next kind of attack. So you can kind of just dodge out the way.
I am going to So none of this is with his weapons. He comes at Lycan with the skills that Lycan gave him. And so I would like to rend his threads and give him a status of severed threads. Really fuck him up on a spiritual level.
Fantastic.
And I would like to also block, dodge, or counter their attempts.
With that, as he jumps midair, you do quick calculations, finding his threads and cutting it off. As he just at this point, you took my power, you worthless weight. I don't know how I ever was convinced to give you what is not yours.
He's like a much smaller dog crawling on a very large dog, right? And he is fully like clawing and ripping as he is just going very feral in this moment. And with his fangs just pulls up a thick rope from Lycan, almost like a leash, and rends it with his mouth. I was dead. You gave me nothing but grief.
You think I need fate to kill you? As you continue to go through that, Hector, you're up next. As you see the prisoners are like becoming the let's get them as they sort of come in droves here towards you.
Oh, because Athena has built a set of staircase, Hector's going to be used one of the greatest war tactics, proven war tactics in the book. Narrow the scope of the battlefield, and he's going to attempt to carve a path by knocking these motherfuckers off of these staircases down to their doom.
Fantastic.
And I will invoke Poised Amidst Doom, Agile Hoplite, Venerated Protector, Spearmanship, Wrathful Spear, because I'm real pissed off right now. The Goddess Athena! I can finally use the tag! Goddess Athena! And bring glory to Troy. I will invoke Damned by the Divine, as well as Cold-Hearted from Love Lost.
Fantastic. Throw it at me. Hit him with it.
Hit him with it. So I believe that's a +5. Let's see how this goes. All right, nice. 13, baby.
13. All right, same choice as you. You got either achieve your goal, evoke status, or block. So you get two of these bad boys.
I want to succeed in what I'm doing, and I would like to block.
All right. With that, you see they're trying to come down the staircase, and at this point, you put your shield up. It grows thanks to Athena, and they go, "Gonna need something a little bit bigger." And with that, grows inside. At this point, there's like maybe 10, maybe 15 prisoners trying to push you, and they're like, "Come on!" And they're trying to slice. It's very much just pushing them off. Fantastic. Mallory, what are you doing in this instance? You do notice Set is like, gotta get the elevator working. I'll be back, kiddos, as he kind of goes off to the elevator to fix it up. So what are you doing, Mallory?
Mallory is going to attempt to, well, she's first going to look like she's just kind of standing there, like scared with the pipe, looking like an easy target. But what she's actually going to do is, I'm going to invoke Spectral Movement, Remains as a Shadow, and Dominant Duelist, and I'm going to try to go behind the group of like anyone that tries to specifically go after her and just take him out from behind.
Fantastic. Roll for me.
I did roll. I rolled
What's
a 9, so that's 10, 11, 12.
Look at
But
you.
then I also invoked I don't even know why I'm here because I figured that was fair, so 11.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I tried.
Good to go.
I don't even know why
Fantastic.
I tried.
What are your two things you're doing here? You achieving goal,
so-
invoking a status, or blocking?
I want to invoke a status of like maybe like dazed or something along those lines to kind of give them a disadvantage on any future moves they make. And then I'd also like to dodge any attacks that like happen to come near me if anyone notices me.
Fantastic. So you all begin to dodge at this point. You're very much of like Rapunzel, just ding, 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 smacking up people upside the head. You notice that you do it so much that the prisoners are like kind of confused of what to do because it's like he's got his own thing. Very much anybody that tries to deal with Merrick, you see Lycan just rips their head off and just throws them to the side. He's mine. There's the prisoners are trying to go up, so they're kind of very confused of like what to do as they're at this point just surrounding you. Very much old kung fu movie style, going at you guys one at a time because they're just confused of what to do. At this instance, you see Set go, "Ding! All right, elevator's up. You can stop your pissing match and get up." As he goes into the elevator, Athena is following suit. Back to you, Merrick. What are you gonna do?
Merrick is gonna. I think he's a little lost in this moment, in the fray with Lycan, this figure that he has so much rage for beyond even what Lycan did to him. And I think he's gonna keep biting him.
Fantastic. Give me another shot here at toe to toe.
Rage Against Destiny, famously ill-fated, because why the fuck would this be the moment that Lycan would decide to show up in his fucking life? Carrion Dog, Rot in War, sated by heroic deeds. And again, I'm going to invoke Barely Tamed. Woo! That is a 13.
Fantastic. You got 2 of these again.
And he is going to, again, avoid any of the swiping and biting from Lycan, and he is going to go in, lean close into the fallen king's ear. I say, go down. And then he's going to pull a huge thread of fate out, and my goal is to knock him out by adding more statuses to what I have already done to him.
I would say at this point, you throw it, and it's almost like you're pulling at him physically as he goes in through near one of the nearby sort of walls, falling down. If I live, I'm coming after you! As he kind of falls down. Bring him out of the fight here.
Merrick stands there covered in blood from his mouth, from his hands, smoldering threads of fate falling off of him. Not the image of Patroclus, the hero, but a fallen man in a place where he fell, lost in the fight.
Making your way to the elevator?
Not until someone yells at him, because I don't think that he is living in the moment.
And
Dope.
someone will, as Hector shoves a prisoner off of his shield and is trying to run past, sees that you are lost again. He's seen that look before. He's heard anecdotes of a Patroclus lost in bloodlust, fury, and battle blood, and he launches over, grabs you by the shoulder and the bandana around your neck, and pulls you close and just says, "Bloody Colos Malacas, you will not be the doom of us. Now get out of this bloodlust, or I will shove you in the elevator myself." He pushes you.
He is cowed and lets himself be pushed.
And he, as he's like shoving you, under his breath is just sheer recollections of that time long past before he struck you down, of how bathed in blood you are, and he shoves you into the elevator. Elevator now! And he's like slamming his spear.
Hector, you're gonna take two status here of stabbed as you're sort of pushing through. One of the prisoners gets a lucky shot as they sort of shiv you in the leg before you just boom. At this point, Mallory, are you getting back to the elevator as the other 2 are going in?
Yeah, Mallory's gonna head straight to the elevator. But she is going to leave behind a projection that will stay until about the doors close.
Fantastic. For speed's sake, I'll just say you throw that up. As they see, they can make walls! Donnie, you first! I'm not going in. as you see they kind of fight across each other, and with that boom, you begin to take the elevator up. As you do, you see you get to the room. Okay, let's see. It's sort of various shelves here and everything. Ha! Pulls out what looks like to be his belongings, looks through his bag, and pulls out about 4 coins here of Greek origin. I have to use this as a sort of shortcut, so I'm going to use 2 of these bad boys. As you see, he begins to mold them into something of a more Egyptian nature. Almost like one of the casks that holds organs for mummies, as he forms something in a similar nature. As he does, you guys can see on the video, this individual that you saw before, it looks slightly different this time. Not really of a bulky build, but something of a slender, more feminine in nature, as it is going through and tearing through individuals. You see some guards try shooting bullets, they just melt in. They throw their spear, grab somebody's head, put it against the wall, then put the spear on the head before throwing them off the edge. Unwavering, cruel in nature, walking with purpose, as they're coming closer to you in this instance. As Athena goes, okay, Set, please hurry up. Fantastic. He opens the jar, cracks open as sand begins to form a portal, and he kind of goes, okay, follow me, as he jumps in.
Before we turn, Hector turns to his goddess. Goddess,
What could you possibly want right now?
is that really her?
Hector, we really don't have time, my sweet, sweet boy, to be talking about this. We are going to die if we don't move. So,
Goddess.
how about convince, please, Hector?
I will. I will invoke Prince of Troy, behind every great man, divine sense, the goddess Athena, and an honorable virtue. I will invoke damned by the divine, and plagued with regrets. That's +3.
That's rough, buddy.
That is a 7.
A 7. Hector, what has happened here and what is transpiring is all part of the Seers. I told you, my sweet, sweet boy, they are an evil bunch of maniacal fucks. So, that is your wife. That is also your brother, your sister, your father, and your mother. So if you don't get in the goddamn portal, I won't have time to explain what's going on.
And Hector jumps into the portal, and I think he legitimately pushes past and ushers Athena through, as is his duty, being bound to her.
And at this point, as you go through, Merrick, you feel a force push you without your consent in a way, as you feel pushed into it. And at this point, Mallory, you see that the individual that does this sort of ghostly push, leaning on the side, is Orpheus. Mallory.
The hell are you doing here?
A bit of a team up, really. But you're going to the underworld. I'm very happy you decided to do this.
Only for my purpose, and I'm coming back.
See, that's where we're a little bit different. As you see, he snaps his hands and grabs a broken and beaten Ricky. You know, he's cute, but, you know, when you get a little blood on your... It kind of takes away the attractiveness, doesn't it?
Fuck is my kid?
Well, I can tell you where your kid is. They are in Tartarus. So, I want you to remember this, in case you don't come and find me and deal with me. This is what's going to happen to Enid. He grabs Ricky and puts his hand through. And rips not only his heart out, but you see his soul, his ghost, begins to go through as he screams in unimaginable pain. Ah! Oh, I can see why you loved him so much. Had a heart of gold in a sense. Tosses the heart to the side and keeps the soul. I fucking warned you. And now you got me covered in blood.
And a sound unleashes from her that is more than a scream. It is a roar. It is from a place of pain that she didn't even know existed within her or could exist within her, because she realizes for the first time, no, she's known, but now she's faced with for the first time just how horrible it would be to lose Ricky, because it happened. She screams and her eyes go pure white, and there is a resonance to her voice as if there's multiple speaking, and she says, no, roars, you will not know peace again. You
It's
think
funny.
you've seen hell? Just you wait.
Just like your father. That's the thing, Mallory. As you see, he kind of snaps his fingers. As the door flings open, you can see coming down the hallway is this murderous, fiery figure that's coming towards you at a rapid pace. I haven't known peace in centuries.
Of all people, you should have known better. See you in hell. And she'll, I guess, probably back into the portal.
Quick thing here, as you're going through, this figure throws their spear at one last attempt. I need you to face danger.
Hey, does this count as a different scene?
Yep, different scene. You are not there. You
If
are
this-
alone.
Different scene. Poison its doom. You can take that tag.
Thank you.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you because I'm kind.
Thank you.
Also, we do have a disrupting the peace tag.
We
that
do
I
have
think
a disrupting the
This is
peace
the time
tag.
to use it.
Burn that, baby.
I think that this would qualify as disrupting the peace this entire episode.
I will say
Correct.
I'm gonna give a -2 because you just saw Ricky die in front of you.
No, that's
So,
very fair. That is
I'll do
extremely
that
fair.
there.
I'm gonna do disrupting the peace, the tag that Hector gave me. I'll invoke emotionally stable, but I'll let can't feel anything anymore kind of take that away. Will she ever really, or the not that one? What remains is a shadow, and they're my world. I feel like that's fair. And then so -2.
So it's +2.
Maybe death has its eyes on you.
Okay.
I don't know if like you want me to choose which ones, but death has its eyes on you and can't feel anything anymore.
Yeah, that works. So you're rolling with how much? You're
+2.
2.
+2. Okay.
That's a 14.
That's
rolled double
fucking
sixes.
go.
Fuck yeah!
Box
You see-
cars.
The spear goes off, and in a ghostly energy, you cast it off to the side as it before entering into the portal. Before we get to our last scene with our Doomsayers here, the two interact. I had them. You're messy. It's all theatricals. Don't worry. You're on the underworld, so you'll get your vengeance. Or justice, or whatever the fuck you want. And this little guy, as he just pokes fun of Ricky's body, has done his job. Let's take a trip. And as that ends there, we go to one last scene as all of you begin to come out at this point. Sand in your faces as you sort of have to get up. And looking around, you see nothing but endless sand and stars above your heads that are countless in nature. But all of that subsides when you see Mallory come out with a look of dissociation and horror and determination all at once.
Mallory.
She will fall to her knees. And
Hector
is
rushes
just
to you.
clutching herself, like right at her chest. Clutching where this unimaginable pain just keeps brewing and growing.
Hector rushes to you. He thinks you're wounded, that you took whatever final strike from his wife, the assailant. And he leans over to you. He's like, Mallory, Mary, look at me. Let me see it. Where is it?
He's in Tartarus.
What?
Took my boy.
And Hector
Ricky?
crumbles before you. You see it in his eyes as he matches and realizes the pain and grief in your eyes. No.
Merrick, at a few paces, has been basically stone still since he landed. But hearing this change in the tone, he starts to listen, and the first thing he hears is about Enid. And he just doesn't even think through and very flatly says, Ricky.
She just shakes her head. He's gone. He's gone. I shouldn't have let him. Shouldn't have let him. God,
You're
I
not to
shouldn't have
blame.
let him.
You're not to blame. You're not to blame. Listen to me, you're not to blame. This is not you. You hear me?
You're wrong! You're wrong! I just thought it'd be enough. If I said no enough, I'd find a way. We'd find a plan C. There is no plan C. And at that, she will kind of collapse into sobs. Holding her chest and doubling over and crying into the sand. As she's just kind of... Mallory is not, in case you haven't noticed, someone to deal with her emotions very well. And now she can't help it. So she is dealing with not just the loss of Ricky here, but the loss of Ricky from before. The realization that there won't be another conversation. For someone who is so entangled with death. Well, maybe that's why she got too pompous. She got too bold.
Hector just sits there on his knees by you. there's nothing he could say. He has lost everything, but he really hasn't been in your position. The one left behind, he was the one that went first. And I think there's a realization that dawns in his eyes as he sees you weeping and grasping your chest on your knees, a strong woman pulled down like this by forces around her. And he sees Andromache in your position too.
Silently, Merrick steps between the two great gods with them and this scene. Not a part of him holds any love for any fathers. Not a single father figure of his life, even the one that he just shoved back deeper into Ironport, has ever been worthy of his kindness. So he was so willing to throw Ricky in there too, and in this moment while he steps between, he very silently sends a prayer that Ricky's shade finds peace.
And as you all console each other, Set approaches slowly. Ricky may still be out there.
Don't give her false hope.
I do not provide falsity. Reality. Your soul is still in danger. So join me as we take a trip down the river. And that is where we shall end our episode for today. Yay!
When I get you, Chris.
Chris,
When
when
I
I
find
fucking
you!
get you, Chris. Chris,
When
when
I
I
find
get you,
you!
you're fucking, you are lucky. You are so
Hey,
lucky.
you better go when I find you.
Yoda.
With that, everyone, that is our episode 6 for the Doomsayers. Thank you for joining us for another lovely episode. With that in mind, we're going to go in reverse order plugs. So, with that in mind, Hector, Val, where can people find you on the internet?
Sure
On the
thing.
sweet there.
Sure thing. Hi, everybody. I am Valiant Dorian. I use he, him, his pronouns. You can find me or on the internet at Valiant Dorian or at also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure hunt I just set you on. Tonight, I had the distinct pleasure of playing your broken Prince of Troy, Hector, who also uses he, him pronouns. In terms of projects and stuff, you can catch me over on Saturdays over on Transplanar RPG. Arc 3 is well in. We are jumping into the world of Inferno. So go ahead and check us out over there for Arc 3. Catch them on the Chaos Protocol. We're live on Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. And also, other things you can keep an eye on. There's some projects TM that I am working on. And if you want to keep up to date on that, follow me on Blue Sky. It's been really nice there. Consider joining me over there. And if you like all of the feralness that happened over on that side, on Merrick's side today, and all of the Lycan-based action, you can get yourself some more Lycan-based action with the incredible game that I've been working on called The Beast Within. The quick start guide is now available on my itch page. Go check out spiritbeargames.itch.io to go grab yourself a quick start copy. We've got some massive holiday updates to the quick start guide coming up, as well as fun little mini games coming up on the internet. Go ahead, follow me and keep up to date with all that. And with that, I'm gonna pass it on over to the greatest mom in the world, Mallory.
Oh, hello, I'm Calamity, and today I played Mallory. You can find me all over the internet as Hey Calamity with 3 Ys at the end. I'm involved in all kinds of stuff all over the place, so definitely follow me on socials, mostly Blue Sky and Threads if you got it. But I'm mostly over on Blue Sky to kind of keep up with everything that I'm doing. I also stream, and I've been getting back into streaming pretty regularly, so if you like shenanigans, and me thirsting over NPCs further, that's where you can find me doing that. Otherwise, yeah, I've got some projects coming up that I can't quite announce yet, but maybe in early January you can start hearing about that. So, yeah, I will pass it over to Kai.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. You can find me all over the internet as a style of Imladris, where I usually play a lot of feral guys, but maybe not as feral as this. This might be the most feral I've played in a while. You can find me on Thursday this week over on Bad House RPG and Set and Change, which is a Cobalt Press, Cobalt Creates program, Tales of the Valiant game set in a Asian diasporic post-colonial fantasy world where I play a horrible guy. And then I will be back doing transplanter things on Saturdays. We have a special coming up this weekend. Tune into that for sure as we jump into Inferno. It's going to be a wild ride. And then I've got quite a few things coming up, but only just more Doomsayers to talk about for now. Chris, why don't you take us home so we can yell at you?
Yay! I like being yelled at. With that, I've been your humble MC for these preceding evening. You can find me on the internet, just at Blue Sky, even though I had to change my username because like no underscore. So you can find me on Blue Sky at VO Cologne, that's COLON. I'm still on Twitter because I'm very much not leaving my home until you drag me out, which is at VO underscore Cologne. So that's an underscore, that's COLON. We have the Doomsayers here, as always, next week. But the next show we got coming up is Wednesday, is the next episode of the Stewart's War. As time jump and all that good stuff, Tale of the Valiant going up, and we got more lovely scenes from our sponsors that we're excited to show off and whatnot. So fun time all around. But with that, that's pretty much it from my end. So we hope you have a wonderful day, have a good night, and we'll see you next week for more Doomsayers. Until then, have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.